Hello and welcome back to RPG Research's Heroes of the Mist in the Homebrew Worlds of Beru multiverse campaign with our audience interaction where you can affect the gameplay by accruing and spending hero points. Check out more information on the audience interactive features at mistheroes.com and join in our chat room at twitch.tv/RPG Research every Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific Time. Though next week on the 23rd we will not be here because of Christmas coming up. So there will be one little skip that we do, and then we'll be back on December 30th to continue the adventures. So we just wrapped up with a wrestling match between the Priest of Cord Deslok and the Iridian half-elven Farhad. It was a best 2 of 3, kind of Greco-Roman style wrestling in 20-degree Fahrenheit weather with the snow coming down. I really wish our artists had been able to make it today. That would have been some great scenes to sketch there. It was a very close battle. It was very friendly. The Priest of Cord was just joyful the entire time, and even when he got pinned, it seemed to make him even more happy. And it was a good, close competition. And so they just finished. They're all hot and sweaty, steam pouring off their bodies in the cold. He helped Farhad up and told everybody to head on up the stairs into the large building that's sheathed in what looks like a lot of rusty iron. And before we get into that, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Hawk Robinson. I'm your game master and host.
And I'm John Welker, assistant game master.
And I'm Adam. I'm playing Torin, who is amateur wrestling enthusiast.
And I'm Santa Claus. Or Andy
He's
Claus.
just kidding, kids.
Hey. I used to be the postmaster for a small town. I practically was Santa Claus.
And Katie?
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm Katie Puden. I'm playing Moisha Turtlebomb. I'm a tailor. I thought adventure would be fun and glorious. I'm not so sure now.
Although, what did you think of that wrestling match?
That was very exciting.
And Farhad.
Made me want to wrestle.
Oh,
I'm Joe Coonan. I'm playing Fat Hulk Guardian, who is he's a simple, just contract negotiator and enforcement officer for a small weaving concern in far off Iridia, where the deserts glow and the gin cannot be trusted.
Well, you can never trust
we're
Gin
not talking
anyway.
about the drink.
Maybe we are.
Maybe
you
we're
choose
not.
for you.
All right, and behind the scenes we have Dan helping with the tech and Pyro helping with the moderation and tech as well. We do not have a real-time sketch artist today. The artist called in today unable to make it. And we do have a position open for 2 other slots for artists, so if you're interested in being a real-time artist during the show, sketching the scenes as they happen, let us know. You can email rpgresearcher@gmail.com and let us know. You can see the application is on Indeed.com, or you can apply through rpgresearch.com and click on volunteer and go to volunteer opportunities, and you'll see there for a Twitch real-time artist. We do want to keep several. We'd like to have 2 each night, so 1 before the break and 1 after the break each night, and maybe be on a rotating schedule so we don't burn out any of our artists. But so we left off with the wrestling. It's nighttime, the snow is falling, and the rest of you are pretty chilly, though the 2 wrestlers, they're very flushed. They're breathing very heavily from the exertion. They're not feeling the cold at the moment. They're both stripped down just to their loincloths and covered. They each covered themselves in some oil that the priest provided, which gave a +1 bonus to Farhad's strength during the wrestling match, not to mention made him slipperier. And so he gestured for him to go get his stuff, and Deslok has gone to go grab his gear, and has gestured for everybody to head up the stairs and into the building with the open door.
Oh, I get
How
it.
long is that oil effect going to last?
Till you wash it off.
Okay.
He's never watching it again.
Oh, I get it. They cover themselves with oil to protect themselves from each other's sweat.
Oh yeah, it makes you slippery, so you can't just get. It also keeps the chafing
And these
down.
2 are sportscasters during the wrestling event.
Well, it's
Who kept
More
making
sidetrackers.
anachronistic commentary.
hey, it's not anachronistic for us to speculate.
Yes.
You know, there could be flying horseless
Yes,
carriages or
yes.
something in the future. What was his name?
Deslock.
Deslock.
Desslock. And yes, those of you who are familiar with Robotech will recognize the name. And you can thank Joe.
I
for
think
that.
you mean Starblazers or Space Battleship Yamato.
Sorry, Starblazers and Yamato. Sorry, that's what I meant.
And
So, thank you for the
what about the farm boy?
Mick Deepfurrow,
Okay.
who has a Cockney accent,
Mm-hmm.
and then Darko Andropoulos.
Yeah, I got that.
That's correct to me.
All right. So, is everybody heading up the stairs, or you want to say something before?
Oh yeah, I pat
Farhad?
Farhad strong. That was great. Wow. I mean,
Splat. Sweat and oil just splatters all over your hand.
I knew you were strong, but man. That move out there when you did the thing just flipped over like what the, you know.
Yeah.
That's something.
Orange very excited.
You can make good money when you go through small towns. Be like, I'll wrestle you, and if you beat me, I'll give you a silver. And they throw the coppers at you, and just wrestle them all down. Just...
You're still breathing very
Torin,
heavily.
you'll remember the last time that you or I went to a small town. They were not very welcoming.
And Farhad, you're
And
still
the time
breathing.
before that, when we went to a small town, they were not super welcoming. And the time before that, we went to a small town.
Farhad, you're still breathing very heavily.
Yeah.
And we need Andy's camera fixed because it's showing off the edge there and everything going off the screen.
This?
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
Good. Thank you.
I've been fixed.
Don't say fixed to cat people.
Spay and neuter your pets, kids.
But don't do it yourselves. Let a professional handle it.
You're not the boss of me.
I'm going to need to pay money for
No
that.
rubber bands and scissors from Fight Club.
2 sharp rocks.
Oh.
Gonna send him to the New York Times and Los Angeles Times.
Sharp rock. You go behind her,
Press
just
release.
wham! Just make sure you pull your thumbs out, otherwise it'll hurt.
Anyway, anybody else want to say anything to anybody as you're starting to head up the stairs into the building?
So Farhad, was that fun?
Of course it was fun. Look how much fun that was.
I'm asking him.
It was actually a lot of fun. I'm glad that I was able to, I don't know, have some sort of combat that didn't result in death or dismemberment, poisoning or decapitation.
Being burned.
Considering.
Also, I feel really good. You guys feel really good? I feel really, really good right now.
I mean, I feel pretty good because I knew you had it in you, and the other folks didn't want to take the bet right because I could have cleaned up. I could have had
And
that.
he's looking way more ripped than you guys ever remember him looking.
I see. So the ability and the power was inside you all along.
Yes, and Cord brought out his greatest features. His inner strength came forth.
Hey, Corey, he sounds like a pretty good guy.
He is. He's the greatest. So, as I said, Mick and Darko joined near the end of the wrestling there. Moisha, anything you want to say before you guys head inside?
No.
Okay. All right, so you head on up the stairs. And again, these stairs are broad enough for 2 people at a time to go up. They're sturdy, and yet they look like they could fall apart. You can see there's levers and such that could be thrown that would just let them collapse. So that clearly this is meant to hold off. And the posts are like that thick around. And at first they look like they're straight posts. You realize they're also surrounded in this brownish steel, rusty steel, with each post. So that whole building is encased, or sorry, not steel, an iron, is encased in this thick iron above and below. So you climb up the stairs into the bright firelight and torchlight inside. It's nice and warm inside. The rest of you who weren't active were getting pretty cold sitting there on the bleachers, basically the stairs. And so you come in and just the warmth comes in. There's a hearth. It's a 100-foot by 100-foot square building with, at the lowest part, the ceiling's about 10 feet high, and then it pitches up to where it's almost 20 feet at the top. So it's a pretty good angle going up to the top there. And inside, let's see, let me get my full description here. stuff.
It's only 1x10? No, 1x5.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So it's a large square central building built on 10-foot-high stone and steel, iron stilts. They're each stilt is about 3 feet in diameter. So actually it's more like that, just solid. The stairs are clearly made to be able to crumble quickly in the front. You also saw, when you did the circle around Farhad, you saw that there was no such stairs in the back, of the same size of the building. And you could see a lot of smoke coming out of a large chimney in the center of the building on the peak of the roof. 2 shuttered windows, which look like they have actual glass, partly shuttered from the inside.
Is that actual
on
glass?
each of the 4 walls. The exterior of the building is an odd brownish red, and as you said, it looked like it's like rusty metal is what it looks like. The walls, the roof, underside, all of it looks like it's reinforced with that. But as you come inside, the whole interior is made of wood and smells of that nice kind of wood smell. It's old, but you can definitely smell it. You can see parts of the floors have been recently scrubbed clean. Other parts are still covered in what looks like dirt and soot and age. Parts of it, like about 2/3 of the area is very cleared up and cleaned and new, and the rest of it, there's stuff crammed in corners that looks like stuff was just kind of swept into the corners and such. So it still looks like they've got a whole third of the building to work on. The floor looks like it has various trap doors with little ring poles and such. Only about, yay big, and then some of them are a little larger, of different sites scattered throughout the floor as you walk in. There's quite a few of these trap doors on the floor.
What's this for? Poke it one.
There's a ring you can pull.
Full on?
Takes a little effort, but pulls up, and you can see below, the ground below you.
Huh.
And Dec16's like, so you can stab them or drop things on anybody beneath you.
Well, why would they be beneath you? Why do
In case the walls are overrun, this is the final refuge.
Oh.
So anybody under here, it's deadly. We can even pour oil down there, and it's all lined in steel and stone. It won't burn, but they will. Becomes a furnace that cooks them alive. And we're insulated in here. At least that's what the original designers did. A lot of things are broken here, but we're trying to fix them.
How long have you been here?
Since about the spring.
Oh,
I have. Mick here just joined a few weeks ago, just as the Horde started to destroy all the towns down south.
Looks like you've done quite a bit of work in that time.
Well, Darko and I have gotten what we can done. There's still all the other buildings we're working on as well, but we're ready for the winter at least. There's much more to do through the year. And as we get more helpers and followers, we'll be able to fix the place up even more, and it'll truly earn the name of Fist of Cord. We're hoping the winter will stop the advancement of the Mordredian forces so we can have this ready before or if they come this far north. We can get enough followers to reinforce and fix the walls.
Perhaps one of
We
you
can
will
hold.
stay with us.
You see, we're on real important business, but yeah.
Understood, but be sure to spread the word about Cord and about the Fist of Cord to all those you know.
So why is it called the Fist Accord?
Fist of Cord.
Fist Accord.
Yes, because we will smash our enemies if they come near us.
Oh, okay. Wait. So would you wrestle them?
Well, generally we just wrestle our friends. No,
Oh, okay.
I would use the mace or other weapons we have here. But
Oh,
it's
that
got
makes sense.
catapults and, yes. It's not literal.
Oh, okay then. I thought maybe it's like
It's-
you could only fight with your knuckles or something. 'Cause
It's
like,
representative. Well, if you call down Cord's might, he could smite them before us on the grounds if we're worthy.
oh wow, that would be
If
really
we've been
useful.
brave enough and strong enough and done all we should do, as we just did this night, then Cord smiles on us and may smite all our foes.
Oh, that's real nice of him.
So come this way. And you see Darko and Mick quickly scrambling to drag some tables out from the corners to add to the table that was there, and some benches. And it looks, a lot of it looks like military style equipment, some of it in pretty bad shape. But they quickly dust stuff off and line up a table and benches, wooden table and benches for you, and start plunking down plates, some cleaner than others.
Well, you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news since you've been so kind to us, but the Mordredians have some sort of weapon or
Dragon.
ability. It's not a dragon.
And he's going, while they're setting the table and such for you, and gesturing for you to have a seat at the benches.
And honestly, I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think, as much as you've been prepared, I don't think any fortress can withstand this without at least magical protection.
If we're worthy, this might of Cord will protect us from anything they throw at us.
But what if they
You
have?
see Darko doing that as well.
But what if they have their own gods on their side?
Oh.
Well, it will be interesting to see, but who can stand against the might of Cord?
Wait, so if they have their
True.
own god and Cord decides that he wants to, do right by his followers, would that mean that the gods would wrestle?
Perhaps.
Oh,
Well,
that's something
I
to see right
heard-
there.
I
I heard they
proxy.
play chess.
The devout will fight for them. And they'll imbue us and strengthen us against our foes and his foes.
Well, I just want to warn you, as much as you've prided yourself on fixing this place, if things get really bad, I hope that you are willing to take a temporary retreat. This weapon they have, it can destroy buildings in moments,
But if
Leave-
God's
leaving-
grace protects us,
leaving
it
large-
will not touch us.
leaving holes in the ground bigger than the houses were.
I've seen. This is no machine. It's the magic of Morgana. We've heard and seen.
Who's Morgana?
From what I saw, I couldn't tell if
Is
it
that the
was
name of a dragon?
magic or some sort of technology. I
You
only saw the
know-
results.
You know who Mordred's mother is.
Morgana's a witch.
I've heard legends, but
Yeah.
you know.
Morgana Le Fay.
Mm-hmm.
She learned much from the wizard Merlin, but she went
Merlin?
to
Merlin
the
from
dark
Camelot?
side. Aye.
No.
No, Merlin from Arkansas.
Where?
Out of character.
Yeah.
No, that can't be right. I mean, why would, the great and powerful Merlin go
Rumor
on?
has it that she betrayed him and that we have not seen him since the battles began. Some claim that she has trapped him somewhere.
That can't be right. I mean, if that is the case, then Camelot would be defenseless from all them powerful magic.
No, because Camelot's knights are mighty. And he
This
gives
is
a
true,
sidelong
yeah.
glance to Karn, and you see Karn just give a sidelong glance back, but that's about it.
Mighty warriors. They cannot do anything against a force like this. If there's no magical protection or some of
wizards,
or some
not
of those
all
ancient technologies that our a good friend who separated from
Weevil.
us was always talking about. I fear for you, and I fear for everyone we've come across in
And
this
I understand, little
journey.
one, but Cord will protect us and help us overcome the fearful knights.
I hope he does, but if he seems unable to help at that moment, do please consider returning to fight another day.
We trust in the might of Cord, and we will be devout followers, and we will hold them at bay if they come this far north.
I hope so.
And we do have friends, if necessary.
that's
If not
always
close friends, at least allies against Mordred's forces if we had time to warn them. The Druids up north, they also are a formidable force.
He's
They
heading
might
that
come
way.
down
We
and
can
help
pass him a
us.
message for you.
Possibly, we can talk about that. First, before we get to business, let's feed you all first. I'm
Oh,
sure
boy.
you must be famished by now, and some of you look almost blue from the cold, looking, at a river and such. And so he's now ladling large amounts of lamb stew in big bowls.
Oh.
It's a huge cauldron.
Is it
of
fresh
too.
bread?
It's a few days old bread,
Okay.
but
Thank
So
you,
it's fresh
better.
bread.
Yeah, there is good bread, hearty, like the hearty, heavy, dark brown stuff.
You let it soak for a few
homemade,
minutes
yeah.
before you get. Yeah.
Yeah, and big heaping bowls of lamb stew. And he laid
I thought it was
all that
veal.
out for you. Sorry, was it veal?
And you said veal
Sorry.
earlier.
Then
Venison?
No, it was totally veal. You, pick a baby animal and kill it. Come on.
you're right, veal. Veal. Sorry, veal. Sorry.
It's veal and lamb and chicken eggs.
Baby animal stew. Veal stew. Yeah, sorry, veal. Veal stew aplenty.
It's the most adorable stew ever.
So big, generous heaping bowls of this for you, and big chunks of bread. Spreads that all around to all of you. And the food is basic and seasoned a little strangely. Farhad, where else have you traveled besides Iridia and Regnum Sapientium?
That's about it.
Okay. Any of you been out in the Outer Lands anywhere else? Okay, so the
Not
seasoning.
Moisha.
Okay.
Well,
so,
maybe river on our trek here.
Yeah,
She
no,
came down up.
yeah, she wouldn't have had a chance to do it. So the seasoning is different. It's not like other seasoning you've had. It's not bad. It's just different.
I don't know what kind of food my dragonborn mentor
There's basically
served me.
Mediterranean type seasoning that you guys aren't really used to. So from his Greek influence there.
So it's lamb, like puttanesca.
It's in the ballpark. You had to improvise a few ingredients here and there, but it is very tasty and it's warm and the bread's decent. It's not maggot ridden or
And
anything.
feta.
And, no, they don't have any of that. They don't have any goats yet. So, so he beckons for you guys to sit down. And he's just thrown on his pants and just an overshirt. He's still barefoot and just piled the rest of his stuff over by the fire to dry out.
You didn't wipe off the oil?
Nope, he's still got the oil on him. He's still glistening with the oil and the sweat. And he's now hungrily eating for the stew.
I don't want to see what his chair looks like. The back of his chair.
Well, he's wearing pants and shirt. They're thick linen, so it's just sticky. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, Farhad, what do you do as far as clothing and oil and all of that?
Farhad put his pants back on, but he hasn't put his shirt on yet.
Okay, are you sitting at the table that way?
Yeah.
Okay, at the bench, it's just a wooden bench. So, all right, so
Yes.
Farhad's bare-chested and glistening, and again, looking more ripped than you guys ever remember seeing him. As he's
This
shouting
food
out.
is so good, guys. This food is so good. It's hitting the spot. And I feel really good. You guys feel warm? I feel warm. Everything is, I feel like maybe I'm talking too loud. What's going on? How's your food?
My food's great, Farhad. Yeah.
The
You are-
victory action.
Use your inside voice,
Was
please.
there a slight head injury I didn't see?
Oh, should I be talking quieter? I'm sorry. Tell me, how loud is too loud? Is this? I feel really good right now. Oh man, I feel so strong.
We can tell.
That is the grace and glory of cord coursing through your veins.
I've met dozens of priests throughout my travels and back home in Iridia, and I've never met a priest whose god actually, did things.
Yes, that
Oh.
is part of the beauty of cord. He is more present than many of the other gods.
Oh yeah, back home on the mountain, you see, we had the man of the mountain, right? And he's supposed to be like if the mountain had like a person that was the mountain, kind of thing.
Hence the name
Yeah.
Man of the Mountain.
Yeah, and so if you does right by
That's
him,
it.
you get to live. Otherwise, if you don't follow the rules, which is like save up for like the hard times and whatnot, and don't go walking through the bog at night, you end up being dead. And you got of course,
Did you have the
ladies
man,
of the
the man
mountain.
in the moon as well?
No, that's just crazy talk.
The man in the forest, maybe?
Well, you had
The man in the river?
the ladies of the mountain, and those were these, they'd be women. They're supposed to be girls at some point, but I don't know everything. I've seen any of them that are lower than younger than like a grandma, and they know all sorts of things about herbs and all sorts of stuff. Supposedly secrets from cavorting naked with the man of the mountain under the full moon, but I don't know. I don't think I could ever see my grandma naked. It just, I mean, I think if the man of the mountain's trying to cavort with that, there's something probably wrong with him. Of course, you ask them about it, and they just switch you. They don't even answer.
Meanwhile, everyone stopped eating and is just staring blankly at him for a moment.
Hey, I ain't busted.
Anyway,
So, before we talk about where you're going, just so you know, giving glory and honor to Corden is where due. If you wanted to come to the side and worship of Cord, you should know that if you pray to him the proper way each day for an hour, he will imbue you with his glory and grace each day. And if you can help convert others to following Cord, as they grow, you can become stronger through his beneficence.
I
used to
sounds.
become stronger.
I mean, well, I'm still growing, so. Yeah.
And if you're
maybe you should
interested,
eat your spinach and.
I can talk to you later and show you how to pray properly to Cord to bring forth his glory.
Ain't one of those things where you just gotta sit there and you breathe funny, is it?
No, you just have to pray to him and exercise and use the strength of your body and all your effort to thank him for what he has done for you that day.
You start in the morning picking up a baby cow.
Jordan?
Each day, pick up the same cow.
What's that?
Jordan, the training that you and I do daily with the sword, that is a good way to honor Cord and to pray to him.
I guess. But we ain't gonna have to strip every day and wrestle, are we? I mean, I like wrestling,
There are
but
exercises you do during your prayer to bring your body into accord with Cord.
how you doing?
I see what you did there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess it was gonna make me a proper knight. Hey, Karn, did you ever have to do all sorts of like lifting things and working out to when you was learning to be a knight? Oh, I guess that settles it.
So after we've eaten and talked, before you go to bed, come with me over to the chapel, the tower that you saw that we were fixing, and I will show you how to worship Cord properly.
All right then.
And if you want, we can bring you into the church as a follower.
Well, I mean, I can't stay here, obviously.
You
I
don't
gotta-
need to. You can
Oh,
go
wow.
forth as a missionary to spread the word of Cord,
That sounds pretty
far and
amazing.
wide across the lands as you travel. And he will look over you and help protect you if you pray to him each day and help spread the word.
Oh God, please don't make him a missionary. The way he talks already.
I had come to spread the word of the mighty Cord, behold my feet's strength. This would be fantastic.
He's converted.
Okay. So, enjoy your stew. It gets a little quiet unless anybody else wants to have any more conversation. He gave you a lot.
Oh,
of
I can
stew.
have conversation.
What's that?
I'll have
Yeah,
more
this is your chance. You know, I mean, he's kind of focusing on eating, but if you want to have a conversation, you've got Mick and Darko and Deslock here as well as the rest of the group.
Oh. So, hey, Farhad. Do you have any gods where you're
Yes.
from? I mean,
Do I think God's real?
well, no.
He asked you give any gods where you're from.
Where I'm from.
Yeah, because I always heard that the Meridians is a bunch of godless, dope-licking...
Janera looks sharply in your direction.
But that's from a bunch of drunk sailors at the port, so, you know, they say all kinds of things. You just never know.
In Iridia, we have hundreds of gods.
Oh, wow.
Of countless gods. Every family has their own. There's the Defiler. He's probably the most famous of the gods in Iridia. He has the head of a crocodile, and he has
Janera then gives you a
arms
sharp
of
look.
Pardon?
Janera gives you a little bit of a sharp look at that.
He has the arms of a squid.
What's a
has
squid?
5 faces, and each one of them has a beak and a flaming eye, and it's quite shocking.
Okay.
Mostly, he's used to scare children, but that's one.
Sounds lovely. I wonder what the services are like.
What's a crocodile?
crocodile is imagine a dog,
Okay.
but shorter and
Alright.
flatter
Uh-huh.
and longer,
Okay.
and made out of armor, and 90% teeth.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty scary. Wait, are all 5 of his faces crocodile faces?
They're all crocodile faces, but they have the face of a crocodile with the beak of an eagle, flames for
Crocodiles
eyes.
are big.
Some of them have antlers, and if the antler head comes for you, you should run,
Oh, wow. That
but it won't help.
It's a very big lizard.
We also have Clortho, the seer. She is a beautiful maiden, untouched by man, who sits high atop the tallest of the winds, the spiraling winds that blow in the desert. She sits up top there and she views everything and she knows what will happen before it happens, except there is no way to speak with her and no way for her to speak to you. See, most of our gods, they are
Wait,
remote
then how,
and far away.
how do you know she's up there?
How do you know she's up there?
Because she
yeah.
hasn't
How do
come
you
down.
Actually, Iridia. It's just something I told you. It could be true. It could be a lie. No one can really know. That's what the gods are like, in my experience. But up until I found this cord, and I feel really good. Do you feel just how good it is to be here? I feel really, really warm right now.
I think maybe you need some of that oil.
Oh, why? It's just oil.
I think there's some side effects.
Oh, you say it's like,
Was there anything written on the side of the bottle, Farhad?
It said oil. And it said it was cord's oil.
Yeah, it said oil
So
cord, yeah.
I'm hoping it's like not made out of the first pressing of cord.
Ouch.
Did you check the back of the bottle?
There's no ingredients
It was
list.
round. There was no back. It just
Well, the opposite of the label.
no, I didn't.
Okay. So each of you at different rates of speed are finishing your food. And Deathlock has finished his. Mick and Darko are still eating away, but Deathlock was just chomping down very quickly. Also, they laid down some pitchers of fresh well water and also some cow's milk and then some mead, some watered mead, as choices for you to drink. What does your character drink?
I go for the mead.
Okay,
Then I pause.
okay.
I go for the water and taste it, make sure it's just water.
Tastes like water. Tastes like good fresh water.
I slowly
water.
sip the water. And I let it
Okay.
sit for a while before I
Okay.
drink more water.
Okay.
I take the mead and a water
Okay.
and add more
The
water.
mead is already watered, but go ahead.
I know.
All right, so you dilute it even more. Okay.
Remember,
Yes.
we're still getting over the last time we
Yes.
had
That
mead.
wasn't that long ago you were in Kasar.
And I just sipped mine
Yes.
slowly.
Yes. Moisha, what do you drink?
Water.
Okay, and Farhad?
Farhad is not. He's just drinking whatever he can reach.
Okay. There are three large pitchers, and you see that Deathlock and Mick and Deepfurrow both, they've got 3 cups. They're drinking a little bit of each as with their meal. So you're welcome to do
Yeah.
the same if you like.
Yeah, Farhad will do that then.
Okay. The cups are mismatched and everything. The dishes are mismatched, but they work.
Right.
They do the job.
I've stayed at a hostel before. I know how things work.
It is quite warm in here. It's well into the 70s from the roaring central fire pit there that goes up in the fireplace and such. A little smoky up in the upper part of the roof, but most of it funnels out through the chimney at the top. But they've got a lot of logs on the fire, and it heats this building quite warmly. So you finish the food, and Deathlock gives off a big long belch, and in the belch, says, "Good thanks to Cord," during his belch, and just kind of smiles, with a juvenile smile as he does so. And Darko kind of grins over at him. So, now that you can see him clearly in the light, why don't you give a description of Darko and Mick there?
All right. Yeah, stop that.
Or I can, if you'd like.
Darko is an older middle-aged man missing his right eye, his left ear, and has a yellowish pallor to his skin. He wears old battered armor. Obviously looks like a mercenary of some sort. He has a bad lip from his left leg. And Mick Beru is a Sampiendum lad, about 16 years of age, and he's not very bright, but he is very strong.
So,
I like to say, well, my father said,
My mama said.
knock him out. I'm gonna say knock.
so, my friends, let us relax and enjoy and digest. Before we call it a night, is there anything we can do to help you on your way? We welcome you to spend the night here out of the cold. Over in the barracks, we have a number of bunk beds there. Some are better than others. I'm afraid we weren't expecting such a large group, but we can accommodate you, keep you warm for the night. It sounds like you need to be on your way. How soon do you expect to head on into the woods?
I imagine come early morning, maybe even before
First thing in
that.
the morning. Understood. No time like the present to take action. No need to lollygag around, huh?
No, yeah.
Yes. So, I don't know how much you're willing to share. Usually people of your kind, you like to keep some things close to the chest, but I hope by now you trust us. And you've been waiting to pass out and nothing has happened. You're feeling a little groggy and tired, but nothing like drugged, just the
Okay.
pleasantness of a full belly and such. You're not feeling it. Nobody else seems to be passing out.
Hooray!
Some people are a little heavy-lidded in the eyes, but again, it looks like normal contentedness and such. But what
Thank you,
can
Deathlock.
yeah, what can you tell
We
me of your
appreciate
purpose?
Your hospitality.
Wonderful, Moisha, right?
Yes,
Did your dog enjoy the food as well? It looks like it cleaned his bowl.
He hasn't eaten so well since we left town.
Looks like a well-trained animal. We lost you, Katie. What?
I can't hear you.
What the heck? Let's try killing the browser and restarting the browser because it's choking out too much.
So how it works is we do this exercise every morning. We go and get a brand new baby calf. We pick him up. The next day we go to the same calf and pick him up again.
All
10
right.
times each day.
Oh, wow.
And as he gets bigger, you get stronger.
Oh, I see, because he gets bigger, but you're still picking him up, therefore you're just getting bigger too, so you can pick him up. Wait, does that mean I have to keep a calf going with us across the mountains and everything else?
Well, that's
Okay.
just one exercise.
Oh, because like, could I pick
You
up
can do
like
it with
rock?
stones. Rocks are good for bigger. You should carry a large rock with you wherever you go.
Please don't.
You see Deathlock look over at Darko and smirk.
But if I'm riding a horse, wouldn't that just make the horse carry the rock?
No, you
You
should
ride a horse? Well, give the horse a break. Why don't you carry the horse? He's just playing with you.
I feel like if I could carry a horse by myself, I'd already have the blessing of corn. You know what I'm saying?
You would.
You have to earn it. You start with it as a small pony and work your way up.
Man. So y'all just keep like a lot of baby animals around for whenever someone comes and joins?
Well, we
Until
have
they
a few.
don't
We
steal.
have different age animals in the barracks, and by springtime we'll have far fewer. Then we'll go get more in the spring.
Oh, okay.
What's that? Okay, all right. So, what can you tell me that you feel comfortable sharing with me why you're traveling up into the dangerous Northlands?
We are...
Other than the knight here, none of you look to be of Northron stock.
We are contracted to escort the lady here on a journey of important business.
What was that, Farhad?
We are heading to see the Oracle. That's right, yeah.
Correct?
Yay!
You remembered.
The Oracle? The Oracle? I've only heard of the Oracle in legends. I thought the Oracle was in Grekos. Why are you going north?
Because I
And
guess
Darko there is going to speak up about the sacking of Grekos and how the Oracle left. It's not in the script, but
Yeah. Yeah, we were sacked, and that's when was he the one who was captured?
yes.
Yes. Ah, yes. The Oracle left, or was taken, when I was captured and enslaved.
Oh, that's right. She fled because she had a vision of Mordred's forces coming.
He did.
Forgot.
Gus. Oh, that was a sad time.
Yeah, tell them what happened to you, my friend.
Well, I was captured and enslaved and shipped off to the Shatterlands for conscripted battle.
As they do to so many others, force people into enslavement.
As
war.
we've run into that.
But with Cord's blessing, my ship sank. And I was washed onto an island where I met Dec16 a few years ago.
I'd been stranded on that island for about 6 months by then and avoiding the headhunter tribes that were around those islands.
Why is they hunting heads?
Lands.
They keep them as prizes. They'll actually take your head and somehow with magic crush it down to a small ball and then carry it on their belts.
After they eat you.
wow.
Well, it's preferred that they do it after, because if you're still alive when they're crushing your head, it's just really.
I think you buried the lead there a bit. I'd just call them like cannibals or something.
Well, it's the fact that they collect the heads that they earn the name headhunters.
Well, yeah, but you're after you've been eaten, you don't really generally care what happens to your head.
They are very dangerous tribes, and we've narrowly avoided them. But using the wreckage from the sunken ship,
Yeah, we created a small raft and sailed away. We eventually found a ship heading through the mist to Port Llewellyn. From there, traveling north, finding an abandoned keep, and in Cord's name, Dec16 has claimed it, and we will keep it.
You'll keep the keep. Ha! See what you did there?
indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So what about yourselves? You say you're looking for the Oracle, so you know where the Oracle is?
North?
We have some guidance, but more importantly, right now, you said earlier that you wouldn't mind discussing perhaps a message we could send up north.
No, I don't have any messages I need to send, but maybe I can give you guidance about what is up north. How many of you have traveled through the Northlands before?
I look around the other people.
Farhad?
No, for me, I tend to try to stay away from where the ice and cold rule.
Moisha? You see Moisha has crossed his arms and is snoring into his beard.
Oh. Yeah, he was always a featherweight.
It was the stew.
Yeah, I think we
What
may
about
have,
you?
I think we may have
The
lost
river.
her.
And River says, I did not come this far north. I see. Well, then, it is good you came across us and came in. I can give you forewarning because the lands you're about to travel into are far more dangerous and deadly than any you've been to before, I assume. If you are mostly in the area of Regnum Sapientium, which is very civilized lands.
But I think perhaps we could send a message for you, even if you don't have one just yet, because I thought maybe it might be wise for you to possibly arrange some sort of signal system with the druids to the north?
I do have a means of alerting the lead druids if there is an attack here. It would take them
quickly?
Well, I could alert them immediately, but it would still take them time to get here.
Oh, yes.
See, that's
That's
something I've
good.
often wondered. It's like you're sitting there and you got, some friends from your party, they go out on something dangerous, and it's like, did they die? Are they coming back and they just got delayed? It's like, how is it you make sure that you can keep in touch with someone? There's got to be some sort
Because
of...
we're here at the edge of the woods, the animals can relay messages as needed to the druids.
You just talk to them and they go do it? That's really smart.
We don't understand them, but the animals understand us.
Wow.
And the druids understand the animals.
See, I always felt like Dobson and Leon were a lot smarter. You just talked to them, right, and they understood, but...
We've run into some intelligent animals on our way.
Oh, yeah, fish
Up
can
this-
talk. I saw that one time, yeah.
Well, let me warn you about what's ahead then. As you travel here, you'll be going into the Great Northern Woods on the east side of the road in the foothills of the Dragonspine Mountains here. You're going to slowly see the Wild Woods, which are also the beginning of the Infernium.
I've heard of that.
The east side of the road is the border of the Wild Woods and the Infernium. West side of the road is more natural wildlife, although sometimes some of the creatures do escape from the Infernium over to the other side. But for the most part, it is the right-hand side as you're traveling north that is the most dangerous.
What
All
keeps
the
them
way up the
there
mountains.
normally?
The powers of the druids. They have warded the side of the road and the trees to try to keep at least the most dangerous and the largest of the creatures, the non-flying creatures, from traversing over.
Well, that's a
The
relief. at
flying
least.
creatures, they're only able to ward away if they see them. There are dragons and others. There's even a great rock that comes down from the high mountains from time to time. Hundreds
Like
of
a
feet
big boulder?
across.
A rock?
A giant bird, hundreds of feet across.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
It could grab this entire keep in one giant claw if necessary.
Wow. It's so big.
That seems unlikely.
That seems crazy big.
Fortunately, it has not bothered us. It stays high, high in the mountains out of sight. But we've seen it from afar. I saw when I traveled down through the northern pass south, met with the wood elves.
But you got wood elves up here?
Yes, the northern wood elves are up here.
Are they a pain in the butt like the southern wood elves?
Yes.
Okay.
I've only heard about the southern wood elves. Generally, all the wood elves are very tribal,
Okay.
and they are not friendly to outsiders. And they're not even friendly to other wood elves if they're from a different tribe. In fact, they often fight each other over their territory.
Yeah, that sounds
They're
like
not
the southern.
civilized like the other elves in the same ways. And they have much shorter memories and shorter lives. So yes, there are northern woods. So if you travel north here, you'll go along the woods. It will get increasingly more dangerous the farther north you travel. Eventually, after a week or so, you'll come to the Druid's Gate. They call it the Droya da Gaita, something like that. And it's a large double wall with very huge gates. It's meant to be tall enough to keep good-sized giants at bay. Giants as much as 20 feet tall from the far, far north.
But not giants.
Not the titans of the great north of the Jotunheimer. The Jotunheimers tower over 100 feet tall, the individuals do. At least that's what the legends say. I've never seen them. But these walls were meant to stop the lesser giants from traveling further south long ago. And the Druids have maintained that. The woods on the west side of the road are their territory, up to about the crossroads to the pass. Once you get to the crossroads, the road continues north. It goes into the land of the Centaurs and the Northrons and other tribes up there. And on the right side of the road at that point, all of those lands are controlled by the Wood Elves. And that road, that is a pass over the mountains, was, until recently, allowed to be traveled by all, by order of the king. But the Wood Elves have taken advantage of the chaos happening down south, and they have barred off that road.
Man, that's just like them dirty wood elves. God.
And they're not letting people travel over the pass. If you cannot convince them to let you pass, your only options are either to take the north road all the way up to the Great Ice and over to Northport and take a ship down the other way and come back up the other way. If that is the area you're trying to get to, where I don't know where you're going exactly, but if you're trying to take the pass that way. Or if the Wood Elves won't let you through, your only other option to take the northern pass is to go into the Wild Woods and the Infernium and traverse that for some miles before you get back on the road outside of the Wood Elves' realm and start the long climb up into the mountains.
Oh, so the pass, right? It's it's getting cold. Is it gonna be open this time? Or we're gonna have to start.
It is going to be brutal this time of year, though it's only going to get worse.
Shit.
Talk leans towards Karn and Janera and their table and says, "That's not the pass we're going to, right? We're not going to that pass. We're going to the other northern pass, right?"
I am sorry, my friend. That is the pass we want to take. If we have to take the Northport route, it will take us weeks, if not months, longer to traverse. The northern pass is dangerous, but the north route takes us past the Jotunheim, which is far more deadly than the North Pass.
What's the Jotunheim?
Those are the giants he was speaking about that are 100 feet or more tall.
Wait, so they're real?
Legends say. I have not been that far north.
Hell. Shoot.
Is Karn seen?
Well,
he's
at
seen
least it
reports.
might be hard for them to see.
Apparently there was a treaty with them and Regnum Sapientium long ago, organized by the High Elves, but that was long ago. So you could share that if you want.
We have had a treaty with the Jotunheim. So at least somebody claiming to be the giants has signed the treaty.
Ah, another excellent way to avoid a fight. Treaties. A contract. On this you and I see eye to eye.
Yes, I would hope you would appreciate the value of such a contract.
Unfortunately, due to the encroaching ice from the Northrons have been pushing into both the Centaur and Wood Elves realms. My understanding from hearing from the Druids a few months ago is that it was heading towards war between the three factions. Between the Northrons, the Centaurs, and the Wood Elves, fighting over the shrinking lands that were available.
Well, if they're smart, they'll just, band together and kick them wood elves just out of the woods because they ain't no good. No, they always cause trouble.
If they were smart, they'd join forces with each other and the Wood Elves and prepare for the forces of Mordred.
Aye, that would be the smartest.
Well, could you really trust a wood elf? I mean, come on.
What did they do to you?
Oh, you always hear terrible things about them down south. You just going trying to get to market, passing too close to the woods, and boom, arrow holes just everywhere. And
True, they are deadly with their bows.
yes, and it's just bad luck, man, because supposedly they get a hold of it. It's like they can't tell the difference between a man or a woman because they couldn't tell the difference between themselves. They all just look the same. And
Well, if you want to take the pass and you don't want to have to go through the Wild Woods and the Infernium, you're going to want to give them, they are traders. They trade things of value. So you'll need to have something of value to them to let you pass.
huh?
Same true for the Centaurs and the Northrons, though they're more likely to just let you pass anyway. But the Wood Elves have created a physical, they have grown the ancient trees somehow to block the road.
Well, that beat all. Oh.
And will they honor a trade? Because, well, I hate to hold on to such, stereotypes and whatnot, as some of us have been unfortunately raised with only knowing, but I believe I've heard the term wood elf giver.
I thought that was more about the Aquariatus and the sea elves.
I suppose that you know
My
regionally elves vary.
experiences, they hate all of us if we're not of their tribe. But if you have something of value worthwhile to them, then they will honor their deals.
Apparently, I'm
As
stuck
a
in the shadow
traveler,
zone.
I have heard that the wood elves can be trusted if they don't kill you.
Right, if they don't kill you at first sight.
Oh, we're both frozen.
Which is another way to say that they can just always be trusted. Either they'll kill you, or they won't. You can
Indeed.
trust that.
Indeed. So we've had a camera lockup problem.
Couple cameras.
Thank you, Windows. So, those
been on that
are
thing for a long
what
time.
I'm aware of. Now, you should know that the Druids, by charter, are not supposed to allow strangers through without a pass. So, unless your knight here has permission from Arthur's court, King Arthur's court, the Druids are not technically supposed to let anyone through, one direction or the other. But they can be convinced. However, you should be warned, the end of the month comes up on their greatest festival of the year, or one of their greatest festivals. And I must say, they know how to party. If you can get there before their celebration begins, they'll probably let you in, probably ask you to stay with them for a day or three to enjoy their hospitality. But if you get there once the celebrations have begun, you may have to wait outside the gates until it passes, and it takes three to 7 days for them to finish their celebrations.
Oh man, that's a party right there.
Indeed. I've only heard stories. I haven't participated myself. I did pass through, and it was not during their celebration. My understanding is they all strip naked. They consume many natural and strange drinks and vegetables and mushrooms and such. And apparently it's their time when they celebrate their closeness with the Fae. And the Fae come to visit them through the land of Fae. That the fabric between them is thinnest. So it is a very holy time for them, and they celebrate it quite wildly. If you get there too late for them to welcome you, if you get there in the middle of it, you will have to wait outside. They will not let you through. So you would want to get there fairly quickly. That celebration starts, I believe, in about 7 days or so.
7 days, all right.
And typically it takes about 5 to 7 days on horseback to get there from here.
Yeah, looks like he's not sleeping much tonight.
Well,
Well, you can sleep well tonight. You need your horses to be well rested and yourselves well rested and well fed. And again, you pray to Cord, he will give you the strength.
I'm sure we'll be fine. It's just
You do it with a true heart.
we were really looking forward to not having to rush somewhere.
Oh, well, good deeds sometimes require that level of perseverance.
Greetings from the void.
Is there
I
any
am
other
invisible.
questions I can answer for you about the North, or what else I can do for you to make sure that you are prepared?
Wait, you say it's going to be bad in the past. Can the horses make it through?
I don't know. I was on foot when I came through. The air is very thin. It is
cold.
many, many thousands of leagues above the sea.
The very air freezes.
The air is very, very thin. If you travel too quickly, you will become sick and your muscles leaden. It can take a long time, and some never adjust to being at such a height.
Oh, well, we can look forward to a more leisurely pace then, I suppose.
Indeed. Though the miles are not great, the climb is very slow going. It can take
Of
weeks
course
to
it is.
pass over the pass. Even though it is not
I
that
see
many
what you did there
miles.
again.
Indeed.
That's very
Hold
funny.
on, did
That's
you
very
come over
funny.
the Queen's Pass when you came into these lands?
We came, I've come over many roads, on many trips, going here and back, and here and back. On this trip over, we came down the Dragon Spines, over, the Southern Pass, and into Balgoth.
Okay, that's fine. If you were down near the Southern Wood Elves. Otherwise, it'd be the Queen's Road. The Queen's Road's the main trading road.
Yeah, the Urban Queen's Road. It's the one,
The Queen's
one
Pass.
between the sets of wood elves.
Yeah, that's the Queen's Pass. That's the one that's
Right.
most commonly used for trade. So, yeah, just as a refresher. All right. Well, if there's not anything else, I think we should get you some place to sleep for the night.
Yes, I fear we have an early morning.
Well, we'll make sure you're well fed and your horses are refreshed and ready to go. As Mick and Darko go get your rooms ready in the barracks, who wants to come with me and pray to Cord tonight? I'll show you how.
Well, before you do that, you've been so kind to us. Is there anything we can do for you in return, besides just tell people that you're here?
Spread the word of the glory of Cord far and wide. Become an acolyte and spread the word. That is the greatest deed you can do in thanks.
I was thinking maybe more wash the dishes.
That's fine, too. He looks over at Mick and Darko. I'm sure they'd appreciate that.
I could wash a few dishes for you to help.
That would be fine. So, who wants to come with me to go pray to Cord in the chapel?
Oh, I do.
Wonderful.
Me too. I'm going as well.
Terrific. Anyone else? Great. Come. Mick, Darko, you know what to do.
Come this way.
Okay. So he takes you out. He's putting on more of his clothes now, even though he's still covered in his oil and such. You see him grab the oil flask, though, that he used earlier and pocket it. But he puts on his cold weather clothing and recommends you guys bundle up. And then you head on out of the building and head south to the big, tall tower, that's still coming along.
See, if I were a thief,
Fahrenheit
what
puts his
I'd
clothes
go
on.
Okay, you put some clothes on. Good.
slowly.
Slowly.
Ever so slowly.
Lillian River rolls her eyes. The tower in the south corner is 70 feet tall. So the walls are about 30 feet tall. The keep was about 50. The gatehouse is about 50 feet tall, and the main tower on the south corner, is 70 feet tall. And inside, he opens up doors, and there's spiral, a staircase hugging the walls inside, going up into it. And about midway, you come into a large platform with candles everywhere, all kinds of large different objects and ropes and other things, strange contraptions that you're not familiar with, a small little wrestling ring in the center, and lots of things that look like things to spar with and maybe exercise with and such. And then there's a giant
torture room.
There's against the wall. There's a giant stone fist, crudely carved out of stone, in the edge of the wall, surrounded by a lot of candles, and a large bucket at the base of the fist. And it looks like there's liquid. So the fist is sitting on top of basically kind of an altar, and it looks like a clear liquid is dripping down into the bucket. This is the chapel of Cord, of the Fist of Cord. We come here and build our bodies as temples to Cord and help spread the word so that he will imbue us with his strength through his essence.
Fisticuffs and
If you want to become a follower of Cord, declare it this day.
All right then. So you declare you're going to follow Cord, and
Yes.
you go around praying.
And then we will
Cord.
dip your head in the bucket.
Oh. I take it back when I was younger.
And then you will be coated with the oil of Cord.
Okay.
And then we will show you the exercises and prayers to give to Cord. They are not difficult, but you must do them each day to get his glory.
Oh, I see. They're hazing the new guy.
You're not here, are you? They're getting your bed ready. And such, so you're helping
I'm
the
washing dishes.
Yeah. So, Farhad, do you have any
You're
comments
inside
or
the pot
questions?
cleaning it.
No, Farhad's like, he's in. It's like,
Great. So, he says, do you this day become a follower of Cord?
Yeah, I do.
Wonderful. Do you, Farhad, this day become a follower of Cord?
he's the only god I've ever seen do something. Yes.
Wonderful. So, once we finish this ritual, you will go forth and spread the word to others. Come this way.
All right.
You, young one, let's start with you.
Okay then. What we gotta do?
Kneel down in front of the bucket.
All right then. Kneel down.
He takes your head, grabs
Yeah.
you by the hair.
Hey.
Says, this day, Cord, I bring to you a new follower. And he dunks your head into the bucket. Deep.
The
And
holy swirly.
As you hit it, you realize it smells like sweat. It's an entire huge bucket of sweat that seems to be dripping from this giant
I think you realize it tastes like sweat.
It's all of these senses are overwhelmed with
It
this
even
realization.
sounds like sweat.
So, and kind of bit on the BO side of sweat.
I'll get my health in there.
So he
shut like
holds
that
you underwater.
You remember when
for
your
a good
brothers would
15
hold
seconds
you
while
in
he's
their
chanting,
armpit?
Cord, I offer you that to this day a new follower. He will go forth and spread your light, and he will be devout unto you. Thank you for your glory. And he just pulls you out of the water.
And he will not mention this particular ritual.
All right. As you pull out, Farhad, you smell that this locker room smell just come emanating around off of him as it drips all over his clothes.
So in small clothes has been under the bed for a week.
It is the essence of Cord.
Why does he smell so bad?
Now he takes out some of the oil and says, give me your arms.
Wait, does that smell like the sweat too?
Give me your arms.
All right.
Starts rubbing the oil on your arms and on your neck and back. That doesn't, it smells more like olive oil or something like that.
That's
so
not too bad.
So yeah. But mixed with the sweat is
It's a natural
all
musk.
right. But you start feeling, you're feeling more confident and kind of, and it's almost like your arms and chest are getting just a little bit bigger, and yeah, you're feeling really good.
All right. I can feel it.
Yes.
It's like
You are feeling the light of Cord, the glory of Cord.
it's like when you like run down a hill super fast and you're just panting, but you're going so fast and it's just like the best.
So in game stats, if you pray, so then he's going to have you work out for an hour. He's going to show you the exercises you need to do each day and the prayer you need to do each day. It's pretty straightforward. It's not that difficult. It's just rigorous. If you do that an hour each day, after you finish this ritual, you're going to get a +1 to your strength stat and a +1 to your constitution stat. Now, it's temporary.
Yeah.
You have to do it each day. If you fail to do it in the morning, it takes an hour to do it, then you will lose your previous benefit.
All right.
And if you want to, he explains to you, though, that if you don't keep at it each day, and you slack one day, you will lose that benefit unless another priest of his rank or higher can bring you back into the fold because you fell out of your discipline and your accord.
Oh wow!
But
man, that sounds rough when you're running for your life.
But yes, but if you bring others to the light, as he puts it, to Cord's glory. So this is where it gets multi-level marketing.
Pyramid scheme.
Yep. Ponzi schemes.
Network marketing.
Yeah. As you get
network marketing.
For every 5 new followers that you bring into the fold, you get to increase that bonus another point on the strength side. So you literally become stronger and stronger by having more followers.
And that will be the only way I can make a knight.
What's that?
It's the only way I'm going to have the strength to ever
Right,
be a fighter class.
you can literally pump yourself up through your prayer.
They're going to pump.
It's always temporary.
You
It'll
up.
always go away, and if you miss it, you got to find another priest. And you've never run into one before.
Wait, so how? Besides you, is there any other priest of corn?
Corn.
That's what I said.
It's not like corn.
Yeah, priest of corn.
Cord.
Cord.
Yes. Yes, they are around in various lands. There are not many of us, but we are growing quickly.
So wait, what?
Watch, in a year, you'll get a bunch of pilgrims that pronounce everything wrong.
Remember the priest of corn,
The
bless our
Book of
crops.
Arnold. Okay, it's your turn, Farhad.
I feel really good about this.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Do you
man.
this day embrace and become a follower of Cord?
Yes.
Okay, takes your head by the hair and dumps it in the water. Starts doing his ritual and chanting for you.
Water.
Yes, water, sorry, sweat. Sweat of Cord. You realize definitely that's what it is. For about 15 seconds, then pulls you out, then goes all over your clothing and gear. And then he starts to get some of the oil out and rubs it on you again. But you're feeling even more invigorated because now your con went up a point as well, because before it was just your strength. So again, if you do that, you don't need the oil. It's just part of the initial ritual. You don't need the oil if you maintain every day.
So,
if you blow it, then you got to go through this whole ritual again.
So I'm currently
And
at
we're not going to remind
plus
you.
one,
Yeah,
plus one.
yeah. Your stat went up 1 point.
I think that might take my con up to a point where I change my modifiers and stuff.
It may. You'll have to look in the book. You can do that offline. So, and as I said, if you get more followers, then your points can keep going up to normal racial maximum. So it can't go above racial maximums.
Okay.
But still, you can slowly go all the way up to 18.
Oh man, it's gonna be so awesome. We're gonna do our workouts, corn.
Because this is a
sword
deity
fight.
who is directly involved with their followers and does give direct benefit. Clearly, I mean, otherwise you wouldn't be feeling this effect. So, and I've had other PCs in this campaign and such do a good job and get some really good benefits from it. And others have forgotten and went, lost it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you can do that. He shows you, Farhad, all the exercises you need to do and the prayers you need to do to keep your bonus.
Just out of curiosity,
You
what are
have
the
to do that each day
exercises?
within a 24-hour period. If you do not renew it within a 24-hour period, you lose the bonuses.
They do the ceremonial keg stand.
So, and even if you lose the bonuses, if you keep praying to Cord, that still could benefit you. You never know when Cord might decide to still, give you some sort of benefit if you keep praying even without the stat bonuses. So, just keep that in mind.
So, out of curiosity, what are the exercises he shows us to do?
It's a bunch of calisthenics and stretching and muscle strength building and endurance building and
Push-ups,
things like that. Yeah,
planking.
Jumping jacks.
It's really butch.
Circa
yoga.
1980s.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it's very 1970s
Physical
80s
culture.
butch workout. Yeah, very muscle building, strength and stamina. So,
Isometric exercises.
Yes.
Press your hands together. Pull your hands apart.
Not aerobics. It gives you aerobics through because to build endurance, you got to do that. But it's not like 80s style aerobics exercises. Like
It's old school physical culture.
Yes. Yes.
The
Very
manly
much so.
men.
Manly
Hold
men.
one arm
Yeah,
down while you
things
push
and
up
tights,
against
tights.
Now find the oddest thing and lift it. Hold one hand down while you push
Yeah,
against it.
yeah.
Sport aesthetics.
They got this magic belt that they wrap around you that vibrates.
All right,
Shakes you really hard.
You finish the process. You're both feeling wonderful, but also very tired. But you got a fire in your belly that feels good. And so he then takes you over to another bucket of fresh water.
Yeah.
And helps you bathe yourselves clean.
Oh. For
from
a
all the
second
sweat
there,
and
I was
such.
really thinking, is this the way I'm going to smell forever?
Yeah. Well, your gear still smells of the sweat, but he at least lets you wash off. and
I
such.
sleep in that stuff. It always-
Okay. So then he takes you back down into the barracks. So the
Okay.
barracks.
Oh, I make a detour
Okay.
after being shown the barracks to wherever the stables are so I can
Okay.
brush down Leon and Dobson.
Okay. As you get there, you see they've already been well taken care of.
Oh, good.
Mick and Darko and the boy took very good care of them.
I give him another brush down just cause.
Okay.
Short
Yeah,
one.
I mean, it's good bonding and
Yeah.
such. Yeah. All right. So the barracks, as you get to the barracks, the building appears, it's a long, narrow building. As you come inside, it appears to have once been a pretty good sized barracks. It is, it's a little bit of typo there. It's 100 feet long by about 30 feet wide. And it says currently they've got lamps and such hanging up. It's a well-lit interior with many oil lamps, a large roaring fire in the center as well with a stone fireplace that you can see is under repair. The barracks are clearly still in the process of being cleaned up as well. Stacks of various junk and miscellany piled up in corners. Just the central area is cleared up, but it does look nice and homey in that area. There are large stone and wood bowls here and there in various buckets on the floor scattered about in here. As you get a better look, you realize that these buckets have water in them, and you realize that the large bowls and buckets are catching dripping water from leaks in the ceiling. The ceiling shows a lot of recent patchwork, but clearly there's much more to be completed.
I no longer have a minus to swing the sword.
Woo-hoo!
Well, other than not being.
As long as you keep praying.
Yeah.
And
I
you can
give
get
it a
other
week.
Converts. What's that?
I give it a week.
If you can get other converts, then you can pump that up. Bump you up.
Pump! Yeah!
All right. Go ahead and call it a night for your characters.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose I don't think we have time to sort through the loot
We have
from the last
3
time.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say that for later, especially when.
Especially when we have
everyone.
both Moisha's awake and River here. It'd be better to have everybody here for that, so that'll be on the 3. So we're going to go ahead and leave it right there as you guys are all going to bed, right, Farhad? There's nothing else you wanted to do?
That's correct.
Good. Anybody going to try to stay up and keep watch, or are you going to trust them and go to sleep?
I mean, I just became the initiate. I'm going to sleep.
What's that?
No. Go sleep. Go to sleep.
Okay. All right.
I'll set up a watch with Moisha and River.
And Karn. Karn likes watching.
Yeah, Karn definitely is on his guard. He does not trust them at all. He would have stayed up the whole night if necessary.
Yeah. We'll set up.
So the whole party can get a full night's rest? Yeah.
All right.
We'll set up a watch schedule between us.
Okay. All right. And
I imagine they'll be down.
the night goes through uneventfully. You guys sleep very well, especially Farhad. Farhad, you gain back all your hit points from the wrestling. And Torin and Farhad, you both wake up feeling better than you can ever remember feeling. Do you
Farhad, let's do those push-ups. Watch this. Try to do it with one arm, just kind of fall over. Oh, we ain't at that yet, but still.
Yeah. So Farhad and Torin, you guys do your morning prayer workout?
Yes.
All right. You're doing that first thing in the morning. You guys wake up a little bit before everybody else, just feeling so refreshed.
We're just in like our loincloth and like the the light shirt, and like yeah.
Yep, just working out hard. All
I can
right.
almost see muscle curves on you.
I go from having a -1 to being 0 normal. I have
So
literally
the
become
good thing
normal
is, at
from
the end of
this.
the hour, you get back your +1 to con and +1 to strength. So we're going to leave that there. Remember, we're not going to be here next week on the 23rd because it's so close to Christmas and everybody needs to be at different places. So next week we don't have a Heroes of the Mist episode, nor do we have a Monday RPG Theory and RPG Applied session, nor a Tuesday Researcher session, nor a Wednesday Hiring session. We'll be back on Thursday for the RPG Theory and Applied, Thursday the 27th. And we'll be back on our normal schedule after that. So the next Heroes of the Mist will be December 30th from 6 to 9 p.m. And we'll be back on our normal Sundays from 6 to 9 p.m. schedule.
All right. As far as all the
Quickly.
Oh yeah. Go up to a +2. So every time I level up while I've been doing, I'm under the effect of the bonus. I get to add that to my next max. And does it change my max bonus now at all?
As long as the stat is improved,
Yeah.
then all the modifiers improve while that stat's improved.
Okay then. So that
So you kind of want to put those in parentheses or something.
Yeah.
So when your stats improve, you have that bonus instead.
okay then. So I'm
Yeah.
like a +2 HP. So if I level while
Right. If it raises your con to gain a hit point, then you gain a hit point.
right. So I add like an extra hit point, like in parentheses right now.
In theory, yeah. Yeah,
Is
as long
that
as-
going to be it per level then? Do I like retroactively like, oh, you're level 10, you gain 2 hit points?
Yeah.
Cool. I just went up 2 hit points.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Whatever, yeah. As long as you keep doing your prayers and don't slip up. A lot of people slip up because under duress they can't do the prayers. So do what you can. When we do stuff in the morning, remind me to have him talk to you about how there are things you can do for the glory of Cord. If you can't do a workout, if you do a fight or a wrestle, and you're victorious, that can make up for the lack of prayer that day.
Oh, but you're
So
victorious.
there's other ways to compensate that day.
Okay.
which encourages you to fight more.
But if you die, all bets are off.
Corn is disgraced by you. And
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I hope everybody has happy holidays. Again, we'll be back December 30th and continuing the story. They'll be going into the wild woods, meeting the druids at the Druids Gate, potentially the Fae, potentially many of the creatures of the Infernium, and also the Centaurs, Northrons, and Wood Elves. That's all coming up.
and now it's official that Torin and Farhad are gym bros.
Yeah.
Yes.
So wherever you may be well. Happy gaming and Namarie.
Dream well.
Yeah, we gotta talk to people, and make them games. That's what we gotta do.
Merry Hana Solsta Kwanzaamas to everyone, and to all a good night.
Joe?
Do you even lift, bro?
Dad?
I just see like a morning workout is going to be these two and River.
And Karn. He won't be working out with them, but he exercises too. And good night, Pyro. Good night, everybody.
All right. Character sheet.
Oh.